the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. It is a brisk November day here at the end of November, and I have a new friend of mine, Gabriel Logan, coming on the podcast. So get ready to have your socks blown off because he seems like a great guy, and I'm looking forward to getting to know him deeper, and hopefully you will as well. So, Gabriel, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, my name is Gabriel Logan. I got to this area because of Milligan. I started going there in 2014 and graduated in 2018. Moved away for a year after graduating with my wife. We actually moved the summer after graduation and moved to China for a year, actually, and that was a pretty amazing experience.
Yeah.
Thank God we were able to come back before all of the COVID and Corona stuff touched down.
Right behind that. You're right in front of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great thing that we were able to get back. We were actually thinking about going back for another year, but the Lord had other plans.
He had other plans. That's cool. So I think earlier you said you grew up in Morganton, North Carolina.
I did, yeah.
One of my good friends, Andrew Lipscomb, is from Morgan. Do you know Andrew?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy.
I
So
do.
Anyway, he's one of my dear friends. We meet every week for a little prayer group. So.
Yeah, that's funny. His mom texted my mom to get my number so him and I could meet up. I think he needed an extra player for his basketball team.
Oh, yeah?
So,
That's cool.
So, yeah, we all got connected
That's awesome.
that way.
I'll see him Thursday morning, so I'll have to tell him you said hi.
Yeah.
So, okay, Johnson City Living Podcast. What do you love about Johnson City? Why do you live here?
I live here because, one, I've made a lot of friends here, and my family is here other than in Morganton and the other places. But I think just upon graduating, there were so many people that were I was close to, and obviously it's beautiful to live here.
Oh, man.
I'm able to get around relatively easy. If I need to get here, it's not like I have to spend 50 years in traffic. I can get somewhere in 10, 15 minutes. So I really appreciate that. And I think really it's just the people, and, I've made some really close friends here. And I see that this place also has so much happening, I think. I mean, I think a lot of people in college were saying, hey, there's not enough to do here, there's not enough to do there, and
Right.
but I haven't found that. I found plenty to do. And
I think you can go looking for things to do for sure, good and bad, right?
Right.
And so I think we have lots of good stuff you can do, and I think that's why we're growing.
Yeah.
Growing. All right, I've got a son who's a junior in high school. We're starting that whole college deal. How did you pick Milligan? Like, what was your thought process? Did you have some kind of like matrix with like 20 different schools and you ruled them out because this one didn't have like tater tots or something? I don't know what it.
Well, part of the reason, other than Milligan being a wonderful place to get an education, one of the things while I was searching for schools, something that my dad sort of instilled in me.
Yeah, I love it.
He'd always make us cut the grass in these diagonally, and it looks so beautiful.
Man after my own heart.
We always had the grass looking good at our house,
here,
and my dad made us cut it. So when I got on the Milligan campus and I saw, the landscaping looking so good, I was like, this is
where I need to be. They got laser lines.
Some of the other schools that I visited, I was like, what's wrong with you all's grass?
Good thing you didn't drive by Furman, because their entrance, they have I saw that the other day when I drove by there. They have perfect stripes, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah. And that wasn't the whole reason. I was also going to play some basketball, and the coach and
so
all these.
So you played basketball for Milligan?
Yeah, I played for 2 years, and so after that, the school really kind of looked after me because I knew my time of playing basketball was probably going to be coming to an end, and they really looked out and kind of was saying, hey, we want you to be able to stay at the school. I was involved in like some of the campus activities, and I was on the student government and things like that. So I think they just, I really appreciate them sort of saying, hey, we still want you at the school.
We're going to take care of you even though you're not playing ball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I really appreciate that.
Did you find your wife there?
I did.
Tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, my freshman year, I remember I said, Lord, help me. I'd like to find a wife. And and then I guess a few months later, I found my wife. Her name is Sue Ellen. And she's from this area.
Okay, cool.
So we started dating my freshman year and dated all through college. And right after that, we got engaged and got married. Probably 2 or 3 months after graduation, and then a month after that, we were off to China.
Yeah, that's awesome. I tell my boys, pray about the Lord bringing you a wife, not
right.
like you trying to go find one. And I think if most people would pray like, okay, Lord, I want you to provide my husband, I want you to provide my wife, then like, it's not going to be as hard as it can be if you try and do it on your own means, for sure. And because he knows exactly who the right person is for you. So
yeah,
that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to push in. You graduated, got married, and you headed off to China.
Yeah.
There's a few other countries out there. Why did you pick China?
Well, my senior year, some of the same group guys that I work with today, we had a internet business, and so a lot of our products, they were,
made in China.
They were made in China. Yeah,
have the sticker
exactly.
on it.
And so, I had some connections over there.
That's cool.
And my wife at the time, she for some reason was interested in learning China, and so she was taking some Chinese courses.
Uh-huh.
We were also talking about how we would like to go somewhere after we graduated, and so a program came to the school. I didn't even go to the program thing when they came. My wife did, and she came and told me all about it, or my then girlfriend.
Yeah.
And she came and told me all about it, and so I kind of kept it under wraps. I'm thinking about, all right, I could do this. I mean, I could go over here and work. I could go over there and move and all these different things. And I just, after a while, after praying, it just seemed like the right thing to do, and it definitely was.
Yeah.
We taught, our way in was we were teachers. Mm-hmm. And the school that we taught at had maybe 30,000 students.
Oh, wow.
So it was a
Big school.
large university.
Yeah.
I think the both of us had 400 students each.
Which town were you in?
We were located in a small town of 9.5 million people called Zhengzhou. We were actually a little bit on the outside of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess China's so large that even their small cities are like millions of people.
Yeah, it's massive. We have a son who came and stayed with us. Well, we call him our son now because he lived with us for 2 years. He was a foreign exchange student from Urumqi, which is kind of near Russia. And he was like, yeah, it's not that big. There's like 4 million people.
Right.
I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, it's just amazing how many people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you went to Zhengzhou, you taught English, and then you decided right before COVID hit, you came back.
Yeah, and that was a really good thing. I know that some of the people that I was good friends with over there, they were sort of telling me some stories about how locked down they were, and it was just good to be here. We have at that point we're having a child, and so it was just a good thing to have our son
home.
here
Yeah.
and have him here and everything,
Yeah.
and it just worked out really well that way.
Yeah, that's cool. So you get home, you probably don't have a job right away, I'm assuming.
No.
How did you, tell me what you did for work. How did you,
Yeah, so I
where'd
worked.
you get going?
So I worked at a place called Ingram Financial, and with
Russell.
Yeah, with Russell.
Yeah,
I worked
he's a
with
friend of
Russell.
mine. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I worked with him probably a year or two. I think it may have been somewhere in between that, and so got to learn a lot of business from him and his father, and
Yeah, I do.
so that was
That's cool.
So they taught me a lot, and
That's great.
It it was just a really good relationship. So
Mm-hmm.
I was able to do that. And then this is where the whole organization sort of came about. The inception of it was actually back in college. A friend of mine and I were meeting in the library, and we're like, we need a name for all the stuff that we're doing. We have the guys come and meet, and at that point I was in student government, so we had like the president had like an office. So I had my office, so I have all my guys come.
Oh, nice.
And we have like whatever we were talking about for that week, whether it was in trying to learn how to invest, or whether we were learning just a lot of times we were just studying the word. We just come in and bring all our ideas from that week.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to come up with a name, and the name that we came up with was Truvelont, which is a name that we made up.
I was going to say, does it have some sort of like, Greek meaning or something? But no.
Well, we just tried to take the words truth and love, mix them all around. Had to add a couple extra letters to make it a word.
And with a mont on it kind of sounds like Truvelont. It's like almost like the top of a mountain or something. So
Hey, I like that.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's a cool name.
But yeah, so we wanted some words that we believed were timeless.
Yeah.
Something that we wanted to stand for. Truth. We think that's something that
Oh man,
we
it's hard to find right now. It feels like.
Yeah, and also love. So that's how we got the name.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I love the name. Okay, so Truvelont, what do you guys do? Tell me about your organization.
Yeah, so a few things that we do is we've been doing a lot of unloading jobs. So kind of have a crew that sort of interchanges because there's so many people moving to this area.
Mm-hmm.
We found people moving from Baltimore and people moving from Colorado, and just sort of all different places. And so we've been just trying to unload them. We've been doing like cleaning, just a lot of different manual labor.
Yeah.
And along with that, we've tried to build a culture of service.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're not necessarily trying to be the most known or
Right.
the most seen, but if we can do the work and people can trust us to come in, and whether it's your organization has a whole bunch of trash in the back and you just need somebody, 2 or 3 guys on a Saturday to come clean everything up.
That's cool.
Just let us know. I think we're really just trying to be of service. Our mission is to work on projects for God's glory, purpose for today, and until the day of His return. And
I love it.
So, the more requests that we sort of get, the more that we'll try and send out guys to serve. Yeah.
That's cool. So are you kind of the head? You're like the central processing person that like, okay, we got a job that, Mitch over here needs.
I am, but I do get a lot of good help, and I think that anytime that I've tried to do things on my own, it doesn't work as well as when I look for a lot of counsel, and I find people that are well versed in a particular field, and I just try and gather as much I can from them, and just kind of go from there. So yeah, there's been a lot of help in every direction.
Yeah, that's just wisdom right there. Yeah. What's the African proverb? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, take somebody with you. So I think going far is where you want to go, and being able to impact more people, you're going to need a team, and so that's awesome. Yeah, same here. I can only do so much. My team helps me do way more than I could get done by myself, for sure.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. Okay, so how do our listeners connect with you? Like if they're, and I guess talk about the different projects that you may have. I mean, you're talking about trash and unloading stuff. Would you load up somebody moving out of town?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could do all of that. Another one is we also have a studio, music studio, and so that's been I think a really good outreach as
cool.
well. Just being able to take someone that says, hey, I have either a song already ready, or I'm looking to do something from scratch. We can kind of be able to produce their music. And
are you musically talented?
I think so, but
you're humble. He started smiling, like blushing, like, well, I'm all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I do love to create, and I love to get people together and
collaborate.
Yeah, collaborate, bring different ideas, and so that's been a really great thing. another thing is we have a basketball league in North Carolina.
Oh, cool.
And I think that's probably been one of our great successes. My father and one of my good friends growing up, about 5 years ago, me and my friend, his name is Christian, we went to all the local gyms. We knew all the basketball players and where they were going to be at. And we kind of stopped the games one day and said, hey, we're starting a basketball league. It's going to be at the church. The church has the gym. And so we said, hey, come on out. And for 5 years now, we've had, about 8 teams, and each team has about 10 players. And at this point, the teams it's a lot of the same teams. You bring your guys back every year. And
this is over in Morganton.
This is over in Morganton.
So you have to drive back and forth for that deal?
in the summer, yeah. So
and Sue's all about that, I bet. Yeah.
Oh yeah. If I take a child with me,
right.
It's
how many kids do you guys have?
I have 2.
2,
yeah,
that's awesome.
I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Yeah, so
I remember those days. You got your hands full.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so
but being a dad is like, does it get any better than that?
It really doesn't. They're such a joy. I mean, they really are. I mean, even last night, I was supposed to be putting him to bed, but I turned on the music and we're jumping on the mattress and jumping off of it. And they're, my son, his favorite game right now is fix the dam. So he gets his trucks and his cars and,
he's going off to fix our dam.
Fix
I'm
the
glad he fixed it because it's working now. We got water, which is great. That's awesome. Okay.
But yeah, with the basketball,
Truvelont. So basketball league.
Between the second and third games, we'll have someone come and speak, and that's that's the ministry of it. I think basketball is. We hope it's not the focal point of the league. We hope it's to be that that we can spread the word, and so usually have a guy come and speak, and it's just been such a great thing, and
that's
it really
awesome.
Has.
Okay. So what are some other services Truvelont offers to people?
So
it sounds like it's multifaceted. Like you got lots of stuff going on.
And that's just kind of how it. That's just kind of how it worked out. Yeah. I mean, I think we try to go from one thing, and then someone will say, "Hey, well, maybe you should think about this." And if it's within our wheelhouse, as far as something that we can do, then we'll do it. And
how many guys are like part of Truvelont?
I would say, on a regular basis, probably 10. But it's a ministry.
Right.
I think, and so the guys that I may have played basketball with in high school, these are some of my closest guys. So they're still in the loop, and people I went to college with. And so just really trying to foster this culture and this community that we're going to work on projects for God's glory. You, as an individual, go out and take care of all the things that you need to, whether you're in this industry or whether you're in that industry or whether you do this. But whenever you are able to come back over here, and we'll meet, and I just really think that this has resonated, because I think a lot of times as men and as women, you want to be a part of something that could be bigger than yourself. I'm not saying that it's just this organization, but just in general, to say, hey, I'm going to put myself aside for a second. I know that I'm not going to get attention for this. I might not get a thank you, but hey, I'm willing to put myself into service for that time, and that's what we've been really trying to build. And
there's no better feeling when you're done with that project, probably, and you see how you helped somebody and gave your life away. It just
no doubt it's a wonderful feeling.
To do. Yeah, I mean, we were created to give our lives away, just like Jesus did, right? And so, it is beautiful. It is. What do you see, like, the future of Truvelont? Like, what would you like? If you could say a wish dream, I had a pastor who used to say that, like, if you wish dream it, what does it look like? Are there, like, you franchise it out and you got one in almost every city that's out helping people and serving?
Well, that would be a beautiful thing. And, I could see that. But I think it starts with making sure that that the work is being done, that there's good work being done, and just kind of going from there.
Right.
Not trying to do things just because, hey, we could be there, we could be seen doing this, but rather, hey, we truly believe that we can do things for our Lord's glory, and at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. So, I'm not sure what he has in store, but I know that we've got a lot of work to do, and just sort of seeing. I'll give you an example. Myself and one of my closest guys, he was living in Knoxville at the time, and he got a roommate. This is after he had graduated, and his roommate had sort of come in, and he thought he was a real tough guy. And so when we first met him, he's telling all these tough guy stories, all the things that he's done in the past, and we kind of, not saying that it was us doing it, but maybe the Lord working through us, but we're saying, hey man, this is not what it is to be tough. You don't have to say all the things that you've done. You don't have to do all the things, but rather your toughness and your strength can be shown through when someone does hurt you or mess with you or get under your skin. How you react to that? Are you going to get all upset and be the tough guy and get kicked out of this or whatever it is? And over the time, we've just seen him like really change. Hey, I don't have to be this.
I don't have to get angry.
I don't have to get angry. I can show my resolve in a different way.
Yeah.
And just seeing that over time, how people can learn and grow, and it's been cool to see.
Yeah. I think looking at the world too, a lot of social media stuff, it looks very angry, right? There's a lot of anger out there for some reason, and they don't have the joy and the peace and the love of Jesus. And so I think if more people can come to know the Lord, we're going to be a much better situation.
Yeah.
So I love that you're helping do that through your ministry. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I do believe that if you get to a place where you can't really be shaken or be moved, and you know who you are as a man, and know who you are as a man in Christ, there can be things thrown at you that you're not necessarily looking for and or wanting, but when you know that you have the peace of God on your side and His strength, you're able to really handle situations much differently, and for me, those situations have always come back and been more positive when I have trusted.
Yeah. If you can come around somebody and love them to where they really get it, they're like, oh, this guy actually loves me. He's not against me. He's for me.
Right.
And you can build that relationship, and that's how you change the world right there. Who are some of the people that have influenced you over your lifetime that have been, you're like, this person really helped me get to where I am?
I would definitely say my father. Yeah, he's definitely number one in my book. Just sort of seeing how he's conducted himself and how consistent he's been. The man that he is in public is the same man that he is in private. Right. I've seen him. He's the same father that he may get award and someone say, hey, you're doing great, but then I call him and say, hey Dad, I have a soccer game. It's like a indoor rec league soccer game, and I'm kind of happy about it. I've just started playing soccer, and I want him to come see my playoff game. And he's the same dad that'll drive an hour and a half to with my mom to come see a rec game. So I really that really meant a lot. I have a lot of respect for him just because his priorities are always in line, and
and for you to too say, hey, I'd like for you to be here. Having that relationship.
And he also has 2 grandchildren here, so it's not that hard to.
Like, I think I can make it. Are grandkids gonna be there? Okay.
Yeah, it's not that hard to pull them that way. And then another person would be my father-in-law.
Okay.
He's actually a pastor in this area,
Nice.
Named Mark Herod.
Yes.
In Trinity Baptist. Yeah. So, and just sort of seeing how how he's handled himself. His daughter, my sister-in-law,
Emma.
Yeah, Emma. She got really sick. I believe it was 2015 or 16. Sorry, I can't really remember which one, but about that time. And it was really a really heavy situation on the family. I'm, sort of new. I'm not even really a part of the family, not married or anything. I'm just, dating his daughter in like such a crucial time, and just seeing how they've been able to be as a family, and even at the darkest times, stay together, stay close, and under his leadership, and it is really something that inspired me and remarkable. Yeah.
We know about that situation through Providence. Our son's gone to Providence for quite a while. So hopefully, anyway. Okay, so anything that you're thinking about doing besides, so like what's your day job? Because it sounds like a lot of these projects are kind of like, okay, you've got a day job, this guy's got a day job, and we get together after that or on the weekends to kind of help and volunteer. Is that?
Well, mostly the unloading. Yeah, that's what we've been doing. That's the
main gig.
That's the main,
cool.
Just because there's been so many people.
There's so many people doing it.
Yeah, moving to this area, so we've been able to.
We're number
really,
one in the country.
Yeah, we've been really able to step into that. It's good having strong friends, and so we were just sort of thinking, hey, so a lot of the guys come from college, so they're not working. They're not able to really work 40 hours a week, but hey, I can do this at this time,
right? And
just sort of building that group, that network of guys. So that's been really the big thing, and then that we've been doing. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so let's say our listeners need you to help them unload. How are they going to connect with you?
They can connect either by my phone or email. Either one of those.
Either one of those. You want to give that out, or?
Probably not, but but you could also check our we have a YouTube where we
here we go.
Yeah, that we really post on.
What's the YouTube channel?
The YouTube is Truvelont.
Truvelont.
Yeah, so it's going to be a compilation of different things that we've done, just sort of letting people know some of the music that the artists have come into the studio, so we kind of post that on there, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, Mitch will put that in the show notes for you as well. And so if you want to connect with Mr. Logan, we would love for you to touch base with him and help yours get unloaded. But if you're moving here, obviously I'd love to connect with you ahead of time, and he'll unload you when we find you a house here. So, what is your favorite thing about Christmas?
My favorite thing about Christmas, I like being at home and having my family around. It's a cold evening. We're all inside. Might be some candles and got some good food, and we're just kind of burrowed in there, and
I love it.
Just all together. That's what I look for. I mean, I just like being together as a family.
Yeah, and your kids are still in that wonderment stage where they're like, oh, Christmas, and they're like super excited, which I think I'm still there too.
That's my favorite.
We love some Christmas. So, what gets you fired up?
What gets me fired up is our mission.
Yeah.
Projects for God's glory, purpose for today and until the day of his return.
I love it.
Every time I say that, I get fired up.
I can tell right now. I wish the listeners could see you, because he's like, let's go.
Because what a great opportunity that we have, not just our organization, but just being here on earth right now, with all the things going on. And I try not to get too swayed about this happening in the world or this happening in the world, but rather understanding that some things that are really big in the news, they might be gone in 2 weeks, but if you stay on your mission, stay on your purpose, you just keep on going, and it's really been amazing. You try and serve someone. They might say, hey, you should go over here, you should talk to these people, and it just kind of keeps on unfurling, and that's I think just trusting the Lord to say, hey, all right, go here, have some discernment about which projects that you do choose,
Sure.
because you can't do it all, and so it's also great to have good people around you. One thing that we try and do is have some of the younger guys that are coming up meet with older guys, or
mentoring relationship.
Yeah, and whether you're in college and someone is 65, or whether someone is 35 and they're doing really well in their industry and someone else is coming up, maybe you should talk to them a little bit to kind of be able to get back on track, or see what you would need to do, and so these are things that really get me fired up, because I do see that there's a great work out there, and just trying to remain consistent, like the people like my father and my father-in-law, they've been consistent. They've shown that when you are consistent, good things can happen, and good things can happen to those around you. Yeah. And so we really just want to keep on going that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wish I had? Anything else you want to share before we jump off of here?
No, just if anyone does want to connect or find out more, or come in, we have an office actually 2 minutes walking from here, right above Founders Park. Yeah. If you go next to Baldwin Cafe, we're over there, and so that's where we keep all of our equipment. And like, there's a few families there that kind of facing a little bit of some hard times, so we're allowing them.
There are a lot of tough situations over that direction.
Yeah, we're allowing them to store some things over there, and but that's kind of where I conduct this operation from, and have the guys come and everything. Yeah. So
what's your address over there?
232 South Commerce. So if anyone ever sees the gate open, that means we're in there.
We're in there. Come on by and say hi.
You're more than welcome to come in.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed when you meet this guy. He's awesome. So, well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I enjoyed our conversation, and I hope you guys have as well. And so if you're looking to connect and move here, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group. I would love to help you find a house here. We'll get Gabriel and his crew to help unload your truck. So if you're driving from California, which we're getting tons of people coming from, or New York or Florida, I mean, they're coming from everywhere.
Yeah, from everywhere.
And so you don't have to have movers. He'll save you some money, because you don't have to have the movers ride with them, and he'll unload you here. So, or if you're interested in building wealth in real estate, we love to help people with that, with turnkey rentals or investment properties and property management. So. Thank you so much. Until next time, I hope you guys get ready for Christmas, because it's coming, and have a great day.